We looked for a studio that was big enough, in a place where there would be film crews that were of the standard that we needed. And we decided on Budapest. They've got this wonderful studio called Stern, which was built, I guess, during the sort of communist era, so it's built to a sort of massive scale. And it worked really well. But the one thing that we couldn't find there was we couldn't find a tank. And a tank is exactly what it says it is. It's basically a tank full of water, but absolutely huge. I mean, the size of sort of 2 Olympic swimming pools. So we decided to build our own tank.
We had to design and build an indoor filming tank on one of the stages in Stern Studios. And yeah, we came over in December to plan that out and get that built. Water filtration and heating and wave machines, and so that was reasonably complicated, but it turned out very well. I think it's now the biggest indoor tank in mainland Europe.
It seemed like a really good idea because basically you've got this lot of water and you've got our lifeboats and we get on film, but I don't think any of us expected to spend 4 days in a wetsuit.
Shooting in a tank is always a nightmare. If you think about it, you know, in every boat you've got sort of 25 people plus, all in period costume. So if somebody wants to go to the loo, you have to bring the boat to the side of the tank. You then have to get them out. You have to then wait for they do that, you know, go and bring them, put them back in again, then get the boat back into position in relation to all the other boats. So that's probably, you've just lost sort of 30 to 45 minutes of shooting.
On the first day we were in there, in the afternoon, we all sort of had this great sense of calm, and I think just being floating in water. And because it was our first day in there, we thought, God, this is wonderful, wonderful environment. About 3 days later, we were beginning to think this is the worst environment because you have complete sensory deprivation and because it's all black and you're just floating all day.
The other thing was, of course, that as always with filming, you're always doing it at the wrong time of year. So here we are trying to film people in lifeboats in temperatures that are sort of sub-zero. I mean, it was freezing cold the night the Titanic sank. And we were shooting this in June inside a studio with massive amounts of lighting.
It's rather hot here in Budapest, and we're all trying to look like it's a bit cold. And it's not April in the Atlantic, it's July in Budapest, which is a lovely time of year to be in Budapest, but not when you're wearing wool.
It's stamina. It's real stamina. Literally, I was wearing a coat, and I had kind of figured it out before we started the job. When I had my fittings with James, I went, Budapest, hot, water tank. Can we design something really quite light?
The costumes are all made about a size bigger than the actual bodies they fit, so that I can fit wetsuits underneath for protection, for warmth, for whatever. So all those costumes are maybe, if somebody's got 3 costumes, one will be to fit the body as the body is, and 2 will be to fit the body over a wetsuit.
My son can swim. We were dying on the boat, trying to pretend we were cold, and absolutely drenched in sweat. It was extremely uncomfortable.
I have to say there was some stunningly good cold acting went on, which you'll see in the finished article. I mean, teeth chattering, you know, you could actually watch them and start feeling cold yourself.
I think we were all very relieved to get out of the water, but it was a kind of joyous experience in a way that we'd never really done that before to that degree. And yeah, I suppose what's weird as a director is you spend a lot of time walking around, and to spend a lot of time floating around, it's a completely different experience.